What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry questions arc. Last episode... Oh, what the? Those are tips. The epitaph and the letter... Is that the same thing? From the first game? I think it is. Whatever. Last episode... 6 poor souls died. Kraus died on the first Twilight 2 times in a row. Natsuhi took a considerable downgrade to when she died. Eva and Hideyoshi both suffered a slight downgrade, and these two just kind of dealing with where they stand. And I just realized that the texture with all the dots and stuff is exactly the same on each body, but whatever. It's time to send them off, even though it's just going to be the same jokes over and over again. Rest in peace, Kraus. He didn't know how to read. Rest in peace, Natsuhi. She was a great Outback Steakhouse employee. Rest in peace, Eva. She's, Rest in peace, Hideyoshi. He's, Rest in peace, Rudolph. He's deep voice man. And rest in peace, Kyrie. Something something. Spin the chessboard. Alright. So yeah, those 6 died, and Jessica's going crazy because her dad and mom died. And it's something I noticed is that for some reason the 3 kids, in this case, aren't as upset this time that their parents are dead compared to last time, because Battler went on a whole tangent in the first game. He was just like, they're supposed to be here, right? I have no parent to hold me, but they are here because they're dead. They're supposed to be alive, and that's all bad and stuff. Also, speaking of that, actually, I've seen the trailer for Umineko Gold, and I'm just like, cool. It looks cool, but it's fully voice acted, so I'm not going to be playing that version because I prefer to just... If there's a version that allows me to read it all in my own voices, to provide my own entertainment and spin to it, then I'll do that. But I must say the presentation's absolutely fucking astounding, and the voice work is incredible, so... Yeah. That's probably going to be the best way to actually experience the story itself, but... As I'm playing it on YouTube, I'm just going to be doing the Steam version, so, yeah. Well, I think Gold will be released on... I don't know, we'll see. Either way, Kanon is screaming, and he's a douchebag. Also, I don't like Kanon as he is doing in this arc, because he's mean old douchebag. He's just like, I am furniture. You are not human. I am furniture, therefore I cannot love. I'm a chair. I'm a toilet. I'm a kitchen table. If servants are furniture, then can I be a refrigerator? Put food inside me. Milady, please, calm yourself. That's not Milady. We still don't know who the culprit is. And Beatrice is an important and honored guest of the Masters. So what? If we grab her by the collar, she'll definitely confess. If I can just look her in the eye, I'll know. I'll see through her. A witch? Beatrice? Yeah, right. I'll expose her. Jessica never stopped moving. Goda and Kanon chased after her, doing their best to convince her to stop, but Jessica never lent them an ear. Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinzo wouldn't let them in there. And yet the servants were always made to clean this room, so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the witch's VIP room, after their second shapeless master. Jessica knew about this too, and she didn't forgive the arrogance of the one who called herself a witch by staying in that room. The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch? To Jessica, she was nothing more or less than the murderer who had brutally killed her parents. Question her, hear her pitiful excuses, make her splutter in pain, gasp in anguish. Anguish. No matter how hard she pretends to be a witch, I'll teach her that she's just a stinking, sweaty human. Why is human capitalized? Is it proper? It shouldn't be. As Jessica yelled with all of her strength, she hit the door to the VIP room. Pfft, that's not a knock at all. It definitely wasn't a knock. The sound was the beating of her anger's hammer, as if she was determined to break the door down if it wasn't opened. Open up, Beatrice! Come out! You hear me, right? Open up! There was no answer. Jessica grabbed the doorknob without any reservation, but she felt the resistance of the lock. She turned around to look at the 2 servants and spoke. The master key will unlock this, right? Use it.
Milady,
That would be horribly rude. Although Godo was flustered, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger. After hanging his head silently for a while, Kanon pulled a master key from his jacket pocket. Kanon, are you sure? Yes, I'm fully aware it would be rude if she happens to be in there. At any rate, if Beatrice had nothing to do with that incident, all she has to do is give us a satisfying explanation. Oh my god, what's up with Jessica's eyes? Like, is it just the text in front of it making it look weird, or has she gone psycho? That's right, exactly! Let me borrow that! Oh, never mind, it was just the text, okay. Jessica snatched the master key from Kanon's hand and violently shoved it into the keyhole. Immediately, there was a small sound and she felt the lock click. Then, without asking permission, she flung the door open. Beatrice! Where are you? Come out! Jessica rudely stepped into the room. The witch wasn't anywhere to be seen. That bitch! That witch! She's not here! Where the hell'd she go? Yes, she doesn't seem to be here. Are the Japanese gonna be weird Japanese people and then wonder, then why was the door locked? Maybe they opened the door, locked the door, then shut the door after leaving. That's how door locks work, except in Japan apparently, but this is a Western mansion, so that should be how they work. Jessica, thinking she might be hiding somewhere inside the room, peeked behind the curtains and under the bed, but she couldn't find anyone. However, there definitely were signs that the bed had been used. And though it was only a vague sense, the atmosphere in the room felt a little soft. It wasn't the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people like the chapel. You could definitely tell that someone had spent the night in this room. But she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Goda had met Beatrice. They had only been told by those who had met her that she looked like a double of the character in that portrait. So they were doubtful about what her face really looked like. However, Kanon alone had met her. And Shannon. He understood what kind of being that witch was, what kind of personality she had. So he knew that forcing their way in here and search for her definitely wouldn't work out. She must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere, sneering at us. She's that kind of person. Because he was looking at things that way, Kanon was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shadow of a person, so they didn't notice. Near a water jug on the side table, there was a single sheet of letter paper. On it was a short message, and nearby was a fountain pen, which had probably been used to write it. Kanon had already come to understand the witch. After finding the corpses, they'd been overcome by rage and barged in here only to find no one. So of course the witch would mock them. You can't mock someone unless they know they're being mocked. So in other words, that's what this must be. Milady, there's something written here. Something written? What? Jessica dashed over and violently snatched the piece of paper away. She probably wasn't trying to be violent. She just couldn't control her strength right now. What the? Don't fuck with me! Don't fuck with me! Jessica and Fuyuhiko are siblings. As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into a wild rage, crumpled the paper up, and threw it. That is not the sound that a letter will make if you throw it. Then she grabbed the light stand by the bedside and violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the walls and furniture with it. Does that mean she was hitting me? I don't understand this game's writing. The light bulbs all shattered at once, and the fragments were scattered across the room. Milady, please calm down. You'll hurt yourself. Let go! Damn it, damn it! Come out, Beatrice! How could you do that to Mom and Dad? You think you scare me? I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'll beat you to death, so show yourself. I told you to let go of me. Damn it! This was written on the paper. Did you think I'd... Oh, okay. Did you think I'd be that senile? To just sit around here waiting for you to come barging in? You're way too inelegant for this intellectual night. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a... Wait, I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like. Oh right, I saw them, and they looked just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets. Okay. It was the sort of thing that witch would write. It meant she'd predicted that one of the children who'd lost their parents would come running in here. If she's hiding somewhere in this room, she must be rolling around laughing now. The witch was that kind of person. She sneered at people's misfortune, using it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years. Hand it over. I'm telling you, you'll hurt yourself. I told you to let go. Damn it, damn it. Ag! That was more the Himiko voice than Jessica's voice, but whatever. Goda snatched away the light stand Jessica had been holding. After all, if she kept swinging it around, she might end up smashing it against something, which could cause serious injury. To Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage, burning herself up with the flames of anger. But Kanon's eyes saw it differently. Those were probably tears of sadness hidden by rage. So, when the light stand was taken from Jessica, when she started crying on the floor, scratching at the carpet almost as though she was groveling, Goda was surprised, but Kanon was not. Of course, she had lost her means of crying by lashing out in rage. Dad, Mom, crying! Considering that she was a daughter of the Ushiromiyas head family, she was in a very shabby state. She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails, and even her feet were scratching. Christ. Jessica cried very, very hard. Because if she didn't, her rage would start building up again and swallow her up. But over and over again, she remembered that humiliating message. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like. Don't you call them morons! Both Dad and Mom were smart! Unlike me, they were really smart! Don't you call them morons! Take it back! Take it back! Oh right, I saw them and they look just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets. Ah, damn it! I'll kill her, I'll kill her. I'll slice open her stomach and see how she likes it. Wow! And an asthma attack again, yep. As Jessica cried and screamed, she triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her hurriedly ran up to her and rubbed her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath. The hell? If you got the time to do that, search for that bastard. Find him and bring him here. If you won't go, I will, and I'll kill him with my own hands. I'll slice open their stomach. Don't touch me. Damn it, damn it. How many times is she gonna cough? I can't do screaming or, like, stuff like that. Like, I can do, like, anger, but I can't do screams, like, or crying. I'm not gonna do that. So, yeah. Jessica got up unsteadily, and as her asthma continued, she went out into the hallway. Milady, your medicine! Quickly! I will call Dr. Nanjo. Goda, would you leave this to me? Kanon had noticed. Goda, who was vastly separated from her in age, probably couldn't sense the tears in Jessica's heart. Kanon, who had noticed, had to be the one to support her. Kanon, are you sure? I believe Milady needs some time to cry right now, considering that she saw her parents killed like that. You're right. Goda also understood, and he knew that Jessica and Kanon had shared a vague relationship with each other. So he understood everything and left it to Kanon. Very well. I will go back to Rosa. Please, take care of Milady. Yes, leave it to me. Kanon's voice was frail, but he nodded firmly. After looking at his eyes, Goda nodded firmly as well. Goda was a veteran with many years behind him. He'd seen a great number of people in his life, so he knew the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who possess self-control. He had surely seen that in Kanon's eyes, so he would leave this to Kanon. When you think about it, maybe this was the first time Goda had ever trusted Kanon and relied on him for a job. Jessica, still suffering from her asthma, seemed to be heading towards her room, though she kept leaning against the wall. Kanon followed her wordlessly. If she had asked for a hand, he would have leapt forward and supported her. But until Jessica did ask for that, he chose to hide himself, watching over her from a distance where he could come to her rescue at any time. When people feel their hearts are about to explode from sadness and want to have someone by their sides, you can bet 10 billion of them would want to turn around and find someone in the place Kanon now stood. Wait, oh yeah, as he watched over Jessica from behind. Sorry, my mind just shut off for half a second. Then finally, she doubled over in front of the door to her room. The asthma attack had stolen all her strength, and her thoughts had gotten hazy from the lack of oxygen, making it impossible even to stand up again. But right then, Jessica didn't think she wanted someone to lend a hand. She still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Even if someone had offered her a hand with good intentions, Jessica would have wanted to tear it right off then. She knew how unfair that would be, so she definitely wouldn't ask for help until she overcame the fiery anger burning inside. Jessica had probably lost the willpower even to call for help, but Kanon heard it. He definitely heard it. Kanon definitely heard that voiceless call for help, one shared by miserable grievers the world round, an endless scream that no one ever seems to hear. Kanon quietly knelt by Jessica's side and wordlessly offered her a shoulder. Though Jessica kept coughing painfully, she accepted it, unlocked the door to her room, and entered. This way. I'll prepare your medicine right away. Cough. Jessica often said that when her asthma got serious enough, it hurt so bad that it felt like she'd vomit up her whole stomach. Her face was pale and her gaze wavered, and yet the coughing continued. Even so, her sadness was probably even stronger. After having her sit on the bed, Kanon took a bronchodilator, from a cute little basket on a nearby side table and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to take her medicine with her. Whenever this seemed to have happened, Kanon would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler from the first aid kit in the servant room, but he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself, as though wondering how he could call himself furniture after failing to bring it with him on a day like this. Then he remembered the day when he'd used that word and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings. It jarred Kanon's heart, but he felt like it would be indiscreet to think about something like that, considering how Jessica felt now, and he locked it up inside the depths of his heart. When she inhaled her medicine, Jessica's wild breathing calmed down bit by bit, and she was finally able to regain her composure. But she'd lost too much strength and willpower to get up from the bed. Are you alright, milady? I'm alright. I'm all messed up over Mom and Dad, but after I cry a bit more, I'll be alright. Dotson. Kanon regretted his poor choice of words. Did he really say, "Are you alright" to her? Was he really that clueless of the pain in her heart? This was what made him furniture. This was why he couldn't become human. I will be in the corridor. If you need anything, please call me immediately. Kanon understood that she still needed some time to cry alone. He told her to call him at any time, bowed, and tried to leave the room. Do you need something? Jessica had spoken up as though she wanted him to stop, so Kanon had stopped. If she asks it, I'll do anything I can to help her. Right now, I'd become even a cane or a chair if it would help ease the pain in her heart. A chair. If by doing that, I can make up for the pain I dealt to her heart on that day. For a while, Jessica stared into Kanon's eyes, or at the ground. It was as though her reason for stopping him was something she couldn't put into words. For a while, neither spoke. Jessica broke that silence with a small voice. I'm sorry, it's nothing. Could you tell Aunt Rosa that I want to be alone for a while? I won't let you be alone. Huh? I won't let you be alone. So I will be in the corridor. Please call for me at any time. For just an instant, it looked like some kind of hope had flitted into Jessica's eyes. But it was very faint and disappeared like the first snow on the surface of a river. Thanks. Let me cry alone for just a bit. Yes. Excuse me. Kanon bowed once again and closed the door. He'd thought those words of his would give her some courage. But now it felt as though they'd actually hurt her for some reason. Why? He didn't know. Surely that was because he was furniture. That was why he couldn't grasp human sadness even now. Kanon is stupid. He doesn't understand what makes people human. You just need 23 pairs of chromosomes. If you have a 24th, just uh-oh. As Kanon repeatedly questioned himself, he walked down the corridor. He felt like the window at the corridor's end was coolly calling to him. In the end, am I nothing more than furniture after all? It was still pouring outside. A dark, gray world. Even on days like this, Shannon would surely see the ocean and know that it was blue. But to my eyes, even if it cleared up, I would only see gray. Until I can understand the blue of the ocean, I'll be nothing but furniture imitating a person. Beatrice, I think? Maybe? That's the only person that would make sense right now. You really don't understand a woman's heart, do you? Yep, At times like that, you ought to silently remain by her side. That's why you're furniture. There shouldn't have been any trace of human life in this corridor. It had been an empty corridor filled with frigid air. But those scoffing words approached Kanon from behind. Hello, Beatrice. When he turned around, he saw that witch. That witch who hadn't shown herself when Jessica had searched for her with a rage bordering on madness, and who had left that sneering letter to toy with Jessica. There are 3 ways to hurt a woman. Let me teach you them. One is to hurt them with a blade. Another is to hurt them in their heart. The last way is the most difficult and most effective method of hurting them, and yet it can hurt them without you even realizing it. Do you know what I mean? How could I know? I don't even want to know. It's to betray their expectations. No living being is more of a dreamer than a woman. I can't speak. They make up dreams all on their own and end up hurting their own selves. A distant man like you hurts women the most. You couldn't understand. You have no idea how deeply you've wounded Jessica. After all, you're furniture. I have no intention of playing along with your nonsense. Did you appear only to sneer at me? Don't be so full of yourself, furniture. You aren't worth sneering at. Still, though you may not be worth my time on your own, if the 2 of you are gathered, that's all I need. The pleasure that comes from laughing at the fates of young couples never tires me. What did you say? You don't mean... Milady is going to be... Oh, Christ. I need 2 who are close for the sacrifices of the second twilight. The 2 of you truly are convenient. Wait, don't misunderstand. Milady and I don't have that kind of relationship. We can't become the sacrifices for the second twilight. That's why you hurt Jessica. That's why you cannot become human. Then there should be no problem. If you won't admit you have feelings for Jessica, I can accept that. But I will kill her. Why? You idiot. Isn't it obvious? It'll be fun to kill her and see your face twist in pain. Why else? Following the rules of the ceremony, 13 people will be sacrificed on my whims. However, there's no rule that says I can't kill more. If it amuses me, I can kill any number of people. So I will. Make me laugh as hard as I can. Kanon the furniture. At that time, Kanon definitely heard Jessica scream. Uh-oh. Okay. When he blinked and looked down the corridor, the witch who'd supposedly been there so nonchalantly just a second ago was gone. At that moment, he was just standing there all alone in the corridor, doing nothing. And the person he wanted to protect was asking for help from far away in that direction. It was obvious what he should do. It wasn't logical, it was an electric reflex. Without a trace of hesitation or distraction, there was a person he wanted to protect and she was asking for help. And at that moment, he genuinely wanted the person by her side to be him. When he flew into Jessica's room, the scene that greeted his eyes was a bizarre one. The room had become a fantastical world, where a blizzard of gold-colored specks danced, almost as though gold leaf had been scattered inside a snow globe. No, that's not it. I've seen this spectacle before. This isn't gold leaf. It's countless golden butterflies, Beatrice's minions. Oh Christ. Jessica was surrounded by countless butterflies, waving her hands around, trying frantically to drive them away. Milady! Kanon! Help! Kanon rushed towards Jessica and violently brushed the cloud of butterflies away. The butterflies, which were sickening despite their beauty, surrounded Jessica's face, trying to crawl in through her mouth and nose. Ew. Jessica choked violently, almost as though the butterflies were triggering an asthma attack, mocking her. But when Kanon ran towards her, the butterflies stopped attacking and began to dance an elegant rondo around the pair. Kanon! Kanon! It's okay. While there's still life in me, I won't let anyone lay a finger on you. Come out, Beatrice! Are you happy now? As he stood guard in front of Jessica, who was using her inhaler and seemed to be in pain, Kanon yelled into the empty air. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. There's so many butterflies! Christ! Ah, what the fuck? Okay, hi. Then she showed herself. It wasn't in response to Kanon's demand. It was obviously because appearing and sneering would bring them even more humiliation. And plus, it was more fun. Now everything fits to the plot. Now you're carp on the chopping board. No, since we've got a pair of you, should I call it duck with green onions? What? You, Beatrice! Please stand back. I'll protect you, milady. The princess and knight come together. It's inevitable that the witch will appear. Yes, why don't you show me how much power Kinzo's furniture can muster? She snapped her fingers with a piercing sound. Oh god, golden butterflies again. When she did, a blizzard of gold butterflies was stirred up, and they began to form a small mountain as they whirled around in a circle. It was just like the swirling of a cold, wintry wind that builds up a mountain of leaves. Is this who I think it is? From that mound of gold, a hand sprouted, and it appeared, as though a resident of the world below was crawling up from beneath the ground. What is this? What the hell is this? Oh, that's Jessica. Jessica couldn't comprehend what she was seeing right now, and her mouth kept flapping open and closed. It was the bite of wisdom, seen in those trying to understand something incomprehensible. Oh, never mind. You're not exactly who I thought you were. Hi, I don't remember you. Who are you? That thing crawling up was probably an attendant who served the witch. It appeared to be wearing a uniform suitable for one who served, but its face was wrong. It looked strange. It was covered with pitch black hair, breathed rotten breath, and its eyes were filled with the same strange subterranean glow as lava. And to symbolize its non-human status, it had 2 horns. It was the figure of a goat-faced attendant who served the witch. Uh-oh. By now, Jessica had no idea what she should say. All this happening in front of her couldn't be explained with common sense, and she couldn't do anything except open and close her mouth. Jessica hadn't realized. She hadn't realized that this island had already been cut off from the rules of our world. But there were some things even she could understand. This goat attendant served the witch and was after her life. And apparently the witch had already given it the order. She was looking at Kanon with an expectant gaze. She looked at him with an expectant and therefore challenging gaze, as though asking him how he intended to protect this maiden. Though the attendant had looked especially bestial while crawling to its feet, you could see in the way it carried itself that it possessed more than enough grace to be worthy of serving the Golden Witch. And you could tell that it was overflowing with the joy of furniture wanting to meet its master's expectations. Well then, why don't you show me? Let's see the power of Kinzo's furniture. This time, don't get the wrong idea, okay? Don't forget that your furniture, got it? If you try to continue playing the human even now, this won't be settled by your death alone. The goat attendant made what seemed to be a silent, respectful bow. Was it directed at its master, or was it offered to Kanon, its opponent? Then on the attendant's hand, a blade of wicked malice appeared. Oh shit, those things! Oh no! What the hell is that? Jessica had been unable to understand what was happening before her eyes for a while now. All she understood was that this glow in front of her existed for the purpose of ending her life. And right now, that was enough. Kanon spoke quietly to Jessica, who was hiding behind his back. Milady, please stay back against the wall. Never let your back leave the wall. What? It's only right for the maiden to obediently hide behind a great knight's back. I do hope you enjoy the pleasure of having your life protected by a man. Now, Kanon, let's have a look at your blade. Womb. There it is, okay. I knew he had one of those, but I didn't know when they showed up. Beautiful. At least when it comes to giving birth to furniture, Kinzo might even reach up as far as my feet. A thing like this can't even be used to trim the roses. Kanon, what? I didn't want to show you. So you've taken it out. How does it feel to expose your subhumanity in front of the girl you care for? Be silent. Humph. So you'll act composed even though you're really burning with wrath? Yes, they do say that truly hot flames burn a cold blue. Is that how you are now? Wrath is a deadly sin. So, therefore, he's gonna die to a stake. Yep. There's no way I can kill you with my power. You are the moon. I can never smash the moon by throwing a rock. However, in order to manifest yourself, you've had to reflect your image off the surface of the water. If you throw a rock at the surface of the water, you might be able to disturb the moon's image for some time. But that doesn't mean the moon has been smashed. So, until this life of mine is over, I'll keep on striking your reflection. I like it, Kanon. Begin, furniture. They're just gonna keep on. This is my blade, and this is my blade. Why does the goat man have a purple one? It's like it's Mace Windu versus Darth Vader. I don't know a lot about Star Wars, but cut. And oh, what a beautiful curve. The witch's words of admiration broke the silence, and for just an instant, they broke Jessica's paralysis. Am I dreaming? Come, furniture of the witch. I'll beat you down to the hell you came from. Yeah, sure. Alright, you're dead. Here's my sword. Here's my sword. Oh boy. Epilepsy warning. Ching 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 chong chong ching chong. Ping ping pom ba ding ba dom bing bom bee ba dom bing ba dom bom. Kanon's probably losing. Blarp, blarp. A strand of red had been left on Kanon's cheek. The witch saw this and grinned broadly. Feel free to mutter excuses about how your instincts still haven't returned quite yet. Apparently he's bleeding from his face, but nope. Kanon, stay strong! That's a new expression. It's okay. I won't die just yet. Shing. Again. Whoa! Okay. Ah. Okay. This game just went from sprites, images, and music to sprites, images, music, and keyframes and zooming. The curve drawn by the goat attendant's blade drew a large arc in empty space. Kanon wasn't there. He was behind it. Oh! Nothing personal, kid. Go back and await your master's return. Die. Okay. And now the goat's gonna split. If this battle of drawing sparkling curves was chess, then Kanon coming from behind was check. And press, and press, and press, and press. Use 7 moves and make it mate. Perhaps the goat attendant hadn't even been granted the ability to go into death throes. As its knees buckled and it fell over, it broke into a bunch of gold butterflies with a pop. Damn. So there was no sound of it hitting the ground. Even those unable to understand this battle would surely realize that Kanon had been magnificent. Humph. So it couldn't win against a handmade piece. It seems you aren't quite that pathetic. You're next, Beatrice! Yeah, sure. The instant Kanon's blade sliced diagonally through the witch's form like a knife through butter, she turned gold and burst. She scattered into several thousand gold butterflies, and for just an instant, the room was filled with the color of twilight. It was just as Kanon himself had said. Slicing Beatrice was just the same as slicing the surface of the water where the moon was reflected. The witch's form, with an ordinary expression on its face, as though she'd been there the whole time, was right behind Kanon. Nothing personal, kid. What's with people teleporting behind each other? You provided quite an entertaining show. Out of respect for that, I thought about letting you off the hook, but your rudeness now has made me change my mind. Don't lie. I won't let you kill Milady. Even if that's impossible, I won't let you kill her while I still live. You can't even do that much. Do not speak, furniture. Be silent, furniture. Know your place, furniture. Kanon isn't furniture. Oh, and what makes you think that? I don't need a reason. Kanon is Kanon. No, his real name's different, but a name doesn't make him furniture. Kanon has his own way of living. That's a noble thing, and it's something he gets to decide for himself. You say he can't have an opinion because he's furniture, that he can't live on his own life because he's furniture? That's wrong! You have to point at the screen when saying that, okay, Jessica? Milady, you mustn't provoke her. No, I've got to make this clear. Kanon isn't furniture. He's human. Why? Kanon rushed to save me of his own free will, and he stood in the path of a fearsome witch like you. He had so many chances to just let me go, but he didn't. Self-sacrifice is part of the noble spirit that only humans have. That means Kanon is human. So take it back. Don't you call Kanon furniture again. Milady. Be silent, human. Let's end this quickly, since this is just the second twilight after all. Now I shall sacrifice the two who are close, to have acknowledged each other's dignity. Well then, arise. Forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory, lust. The witch summoned her furniture with a mixture of laughter and anger on her face. Oh, so are we actually gonna see one of them? Oh fuck, she looks derpy. Oh god. These outfits are so stupid. Like, I remember when I watched the anime, it was just like half school uniform, half swimsuit, another part fucking, why is this outfit, you know? Asmodeus of Lust, right here. Oh, that's her talking. Asmodeus of Lust, right here. I've had enough of this farce. Quickly, execute the second twilight. Don't keep me waiting, got it? As you command. Another weirdo's shown up. It took Kanon Weston an instant to understand. That goat face from a second ago had been nothing more than a pawn to the witch. However, this newly summoned furniture was a game piece with a vastly different value. Wow, I must be lucky to be given such wonderful prey. You scared? How cute. Come, furniture of the witch. I won't be killed by you. You're acting pretty smart for a dunce who can't even follow me with his eyes. Here I go, okay? Hey, where do you want it? Where do you want me to pierce you? Answer me, cutie. I'll pierce you good wherever you want. Come on, answer me, cutie. Don't call me cute. Okay, Kanon and Natsuki are siblings. Here I go, you dunce. Come on, try and follow me, you blind idiot. And there he goes. And Kanon's dead. Guarantee it. Milady. Oh no, she's dead. Ouch. I couldn't follow it with my eyes, but my guess was spot on. Serves you right. Oh, that was Kanon. Kanon's back had been the target, but Jessica had predicted it. She predicted that the witch's target would be the complete opposite of fair and honest, his back. But she had no way to block it. She hadn't planned on it being some act of self-sacrifice. She just couldn't think of any other way to protect Kanon's back. So she could do nothing but block it with her own back. The furniture of the witch, which had changed its form into a demon stake, was buried deep into Jessica's back. It was an obviously fatal wound that reached as far as her lungs. When she saw this, the witch let out a loud, evil laugh, because it had hit where the witch had predicted. Everything was as the witch had predicted. What's wrong, Kanon? Milady Jessica just got killed while you still lived, didn't she? Yes, that's it. That face, that look on your face is what I wanted to see. How truly enjoyable. That's enough. Die. Make me laugh. Come, arise. Forgive the sin. One of the 7 stakes of purgatory. Wrath. Oh god, another one. Satan. Oh god. Satan of wrath, right here. This prey is yours. Eat him up right now and close the curtain on his stage. If you were a human, I'd say it's time for you to step down. But since you're furniture, maybe I should say it's time for the stage manager to carry you behind the stage. I am not furniture anymore. I won't doubt that again. Oh, what's this? Owo? You want to be killed by me again? Oh, was this the same one that killed him last time? Well, supposedly. Your chest, it's so warm and it feels so good to pierce it. Come on, let me have another taste, okay?
Won't you make me feel really good with that hot, fresh blood in that warm chest of yours? Why are they all sluts? I'm gonna try to give them all different voices, but it'll be difficult because there's 7 of them. And we've only seen 2 of them. So, yeah, Kanon and Jessica are toast. Does it show that they're dead already? No. Hey, I'm still alive. And so am I. Yeah, bullshit. There was no way to block it. The sound of a woodpecker filled the entire room, and before he could blink, it was already right in the center of his chest. When you take a piece in chess, the rules say that it's impossible for your opponent's piece to defend itself. So this was an obvious result, in accordance with the rules. Kanon landed on his knees, and he apologized. Not to the witch, and not to Milady. He apologized to Jessica. Damn. I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. Don't worry about it. You were really cool. Kanon finally fell over. He landed next to Jessica, and the two lay there like the constellation Gemini. Okay, sure. You know, Kanon, you aren't furniture anymore. Yes, I was too late in realizing that. I wanted to ask you what your real name was. My real name is... In his last moments, Kanon wanted to tell her his real name, but Jessica had already fallen into a sleep from which she would never wake. So Kanon's real name, which he had protected until today, in the end, he couldn't tell it to Jessica. I became human. Those were the last words Kanon left behind. Well, rip. Both of ya. Don't make me laugh, furniture. Even after 1,000 years, 100 rather, furniture will still be furniture. Have you ever heard of anyone stupid enough to dig a grave for their furniture when they throw it away? You smash furniture to pieces and make firewood so that all that's left is ashes. That's how it is. Furniture gets no tombstone. It seems you believe death means an end to your humiliation, but that's naive. I'll show you what it really means to disgrace the dead. After taking a puff from her pipe, the witch breathed the smoke at Kanon's corpse. Oh boy. When she did, Kanon's corpse softly floated up into the air, and disappeared as though it had been eaten by a mouth in empty space. The witch played dirty until the very end. The corpses of the pair who managed to understand each other in the end were not even permitted to be close. If someone had been watching, they would probably say mournfully, "So this is what you mean by disgracing the dead." However, Beatrice was far crueler than that. The reason for that would soon become apparent. And the foliage thing. So they're both toast. Satan. Wow. Yeah, well, I know one of them's supposed to be like the leader, or the quote-unquote big sister. Also, what time is it? It's 6:50? Christ, 8 people have died in an hour. Hi, Kenzo. I see. So it has begun. Yes. Dots. Stop saying dots! Even though Kenzo had received news of 6 deaths, his emotions did not waver. The expression on his face as he gazed out the window was a smile, as though his opponent in a chess game had just made a spectacular move. It was hard to Ow, my elbow. It was hard to imagine that such an expression could ever appear on a father who had lost so many children at once. Koda and Kanon followed Rosa's orders and went to call the police. After that, she ordered us to follow your orders, Master. What shall we do? This island has already been cut off from the real world. Mere phones will serve no purpose. Should I have them stop? Until the roulette is finished, what they do to pass the time is up to them. Let them do as they please. Yes, sir. What should we tell Rosa? Didn't I say they should pass the time as they pleased? They can sing if they want, dance if they want. We can dance if we want to. They're even free to hang themselves by the neck or jump into a boiling kettle. Until 13 people die, they can spend their time as they like. If that's too boring, then they can wonder about whether 6 times 9 equals 42 or something. It doesn't. Good one, it's 54. That's the answer to the mystery of humanity in the universe. Yes, my apologies. Shannon cowered in fright at the sudden rage. Genji made a gesture as though telling her not to speak out of turn.
Shannon couldn't help but regret saying too much. However, you two are also free to do as you wish. Genji, and Shannon too. You have done well serving me until today.
Your words are too good for me. But,
We are furniture who have sworn to serve the master. We stand ready to serve you no matter the time, until the very end. Okay. Dots? I want to tell you about everything. Shannon, I am going to write a will. I shall need you to transcribe for me. Please, Genji, my usual drink.
Huh? Yes, sir.
Nancho often recommended that Kinzo write a will because of his health, but each time he had, Kinzo had gone mad with rage. Ever since then, you'd think will would have been the word Kinzo hated most. After hearing such a word come from his lips, Shannon couldn't help doubting her ears for an instant. Shannon hurriedly prepared the side table and some writing paper. Genji followed his orders and began preparing that usual green, evil drink.
I'm ready.
Where should I begin? Shall I also speak of my life? It would be fun to leave behind a record of my most memorable games. It can be truly amusing to read the records of old games from centuries past, to journey in search of those players' thoughts. So, should the game record of my life lead those in the future to go on a journey and search for my thoughts?
For a while, Kinzo pondered over where he should begin, strutting all over the room with his back behind his hand.
Okay, master, here. Ah, yes. Thank you, my friend. Well then, if I am to speak of my life, I must begin by writing of my meeting with that witch. Shannon, begin writing. My first meeting with Beatrice took place a long way back. What year of the Showa era was it? It must have been at the end of the war, so...
Okay. Thanks for showing up, man. Are we going back to Subway? We took enough time to regain our calm, and we each swore to our parents that we'd catch the culprit. Little did you know, 2 people are dead again. It would be a lie to say we weren't still torn up. Even now, if we let our guards down just a little, we'd probably start going on a rampage just like Jessica, letting our emotions show with some kind of violence. According to what Goda said after he got back, right now, Kanon was looking after Jessica. Apparently, she was still very emotionally high-strung. I see. Thank you. Maybe a young kid would be better at understanding a young kid's feelings. It would probably be better if we left them alone for now. Rosa, there's nothing more to be gained by remaining here. The phones may not be working, but tomorrow the boat will come and we should be able to reach the police. We should leave this place as it is for the police's investigation. I agree with Dr. Nanjo. Staying in a place like this for too long will be bad for your health. Let us return and make some black tea. Yeah, I agree with that. Battler, George, are you ready? Let's lock up here. We ought to leave this place as it is anyways, for when the police come. You're right. Battler, are you okay?
Yeah. I've cried all I can. I'm fine now.
And Maria? The police would surely find some evidence during their thorough investigation, but we weren't adult enough to wait for that. I'd investigated the chapel in my own way, trying to grab the culprit before the police arrived. And what I figured out was absolutely nothing, frustratingly. I wasn't able to get a single hint. Come on, let's go out. Maria, we're going. Don't keep staring at it. Ew.
Come, Maria. Let us return. It's cold here.
Father, Mother, thank you for everything. I will definitely become a man who doesn't betray your expectations. George spoke his last words of farewell to his parents. After seeing that, Battler followed suit. Dad, Kyrie. Just looking at their faces, it looked like they were sleeping, but that just made it even more painful. Forgive me for leaving you in a cold place like this. I'll definitely get whoever did this, no matter what. Oh yeah, there was that magic circle too, I forgot about it. What is this? What a repulsive scribble. Did the culprit draw it? This is worse than vulgar. How horrible! When the door to the chapel was closed, we learned about that creepy scribble for the first time.
When we first found this, it was already drawn here. It must have been made by the culprit. So supposedly the culprit was a witch, and this is a magic circle to summon a demon or something?
You hit the nail right on the head. This is the 7th magic circle of the sun. Don't you even know that? Ouch!
Hey, don't I always tell you not to make that creepy laugh? Maria, go on. What does it mean?
It's a magic circle to escape from physical or mental bonds. And the part written around the circumference says, "The Lord has freed me from my chains. I will offer you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call on the name of the Lord," in Hebrew.
Yeah, sure. Sacrifice of thanksgiving? So they killed Father and the rest to use them as human sacrifices for this magic circle? Calm down, George. This is the culprit trying to provoke us. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. Thinking about it will only poison the heart. And looks like there's some English written here. Happy Halloween for Maria. I get it. And the key to open this door was handed over to Maria. Is that what's going on? Well, this is the chapel after all. Maybe Maria doesn't mean Maria, but the Virgin Mary. Oh, who's talking? I'll just assume Batler. In that case, you could read this as a blasphemy against God in the name of Halloween. They say witches who make contracts with demons swear to defile God's name at all times. In that sense, this really is a witch-like crime. Sounds like you know a lot about it. Did you get that from Maria? Oh, that was Rosa. Yeah, something like that. The chapel, huh? They went to all the trouble of calling them out here and killing them. Aunt Rosa, does this chapel have some special meaning? What do you mean a special meaning? Well, someone carried 6 human corpses all the way over here and set up these elaborate decorations. We can't tell if she called the 6 of them over here before killing them, or if she killed them before carrying them over here. But either way, it'd take a lot of effort. Why did the culprit want 6 people to die here? True. By doing something that elaborate, there would be an extremely high chance of some disadvantageous evidence being found when the police arrive. It is inconceivable that the culprit would fail to realize this. The issue now is why the culprit went to all that effort. And that leads us to just one question. What meaning is there to this place where we found the 6 corpses? This chapel was important to Father. Ever since I was a kid, I was given strict instructions never to enter it.
Ew. I came here once too, got in lots of trouble. Ew.
An important chapel? Does it have some connection to the Ushiromiyas head family? I don't know. Father viewed this chapel as very sacred, and he treasured it so much that he had it redecorated several times. But as everyone knows, Father wasn't a devout believer, as his passion for black magic demonstrates. I've never heard of him coming here to offer his prayers to God. As far as I know, the Master has never come here. We even called this the Sealed Chapel, and, I found it eerie, like a haunted house. Even though Father never approached it himself, for some reason he made the servants give it a major cleaning several times a year. It felt like he kept it clean all the time so that it could be used at any moment. And even so, it's called the Sealed Chapel. Maybe it's indiscreet to say this, but doesn't that sound pretty cool? Dr. Nanjo, you're an old friend of Grandfather's, right? Have you heard anything about it? I did ask about it once long ago, but I forget exactly how he dodged my question. That's right, I believe he said something like, "Someday, perhaps I too will be able to receive a blessing there. But unless a miracle occurs, that day will never come." What does that mean? What would he do in a chapel? He couldn't mean his own funeral, right? I wouldn't believe that of Kenzo. He was a man much more focused on the living now than matters occurring after death. Though this does seem to be the root cause of the current inheritance problem. Then what would he do in a chapel? Pray? Aren't confessions done in a chapel too? Anyway, it sounds suspicious. I don't know the reason. But just as Dr. Nanjo said in Grandfather's eyes, all this about not being blessed unless a miracle occurred was set in stone as far back as this chapel's construction. How do you know that? See, it's clearly written over there. Look, right there. George pointed to a relief with rusted gold letters on the arch above the door. It looked like some message had been written there in English. The rust made it clear that the message had been there ever since the chapel's construction. Interesting. I'm not that good with English. Wait, I'm not that good with English. What is it? This door is opened only at Probability of... Sorry, my English sucks. Oh, that was bat work. This door is opened only at probability of... Sorry, my English sucks. I gave up after failing to finish even the first of the 2 lines. It looked like the others could read it properly. I think it went MBTQ... So, how many did that mean? I think, Anyway, this is incredible. What? MBTQ? Adding up all the fingers on both hands doesn't even get you close. It really would be impossible unless a miracle occurred. Certainly. It's quite reminiscent of the old Kinzo, who loved using gambling as a metaphor whenever he got the chance. Hey, come on, can everyone read it? Someone tell me what it means too.
You've got to at least learn English. How'd you get into high school without even being able to read this much? Ouch! Ouch, ouch, ouch!
Mind your own business. So what's written there?
Simply put, it means something like this. Unless a miracle occurs, this door will never be opened. Unless a miracle occurs, you will never be blessed. Grandfather's magic is based on astronomically low probabilities. In other words, a miracle for opening this door would probably require an incredibly vast amount of magical power. Ouch!
Nice job, you can shut up now. Rosa, did you have Maria take English classes? Looks like it's useless to try and learn English unless you start when you're young after all. The sealed chapel, huh? Setting aside whether she was a witch or not, it's rumored that Beatrice actually existed several decades ago, and was grandfather's mistress. This is, just my imagination, but perhaps the master truly did love Beatrice. However, he was already married, so they couldn't be united. I see. If Beatrice was dead and could be revived with the magic of a miracle, then now that grandmother's dead, he can marry her openly. And if they married in this chapel, you might end up with a pretty fairy tale-like story, right? Rosa? I don't think that story is so preposterous. It's a well-known fact that father still loves Beatrice deeply. Also, even though I said I found it creepy, I seem to remember that the interior of the chapel was quite magnificent. The thought that father built this chapel in the hopes of having a wedding with his dead mistress might not be that unlikely. By the time he built this chapel, grandfather probably knew that he would never use it as a church as long as he lived. But he prayed for the witch to be revived by some miracle. And he thought that if that miracle occurred, they could be married here. I see. If you think of it that way, this would be a place of utmost significance to Beatrice as well. Even though he knew the chapel would never be opened. It's a story of tragic love. Even though Goda was even bigger than me, his words were touching. Everyone was silent, but it seemed that they agreed with that view. Even though he knew it was a chapel never to be opened, he still probably dreamed of the day that a miracle would occur. Kinzo was quite the romantic in his younger days. I think I understand how he felt. I wonder. Then again, everyone went in it 4 times a year to clean, right? So much for it being the sealed chapel. Didn't we just go in ourselves? That wasn't a miracle or anything. We brought the key, click, and we're in. That's all. This is ridiculous. Huh? What? Then, what does that mean? What are you talking about? As far as I could tell, I'd just been joking around, finding myself a bit irritated by the sob story this was turning into. But then Aunt Rosa suddenly jumped on me with a really serious face. Aunt Rosa's face grew increasingly pale. She looked at the magic circle on the door, and then at her hand. Back and forth, back and forth. What is the matter, Rosa? Hey, Goda, the key to this chapel. Didn't Genji say it? He said there was only one. Oh, okay. Then she's saying, how did they get into the chapel and lock the door afterward? I mean, Maria probably wouldn't mind being with someone dressed as Beatrice as she committed the murders. So, Maria as an accomplice? Huh?
It took you all way too long to figure it out.
When a kid pulls a prank, it sometimes goes unnoticed by the adults, and the kid who did it gets all disappointed. If such a prank then gets sprung on someone much later, it can really make a kid's day. Maria's celebration just now looked a lot like that. Yes, that's right. There is only one of those keys. It's the key to the Master's Treasure Chapel, so there is only one with no duplicates. It is normally kept safe in the key box in the servant room, but...
That's right. And Genji said it had gone missing. Oh, boy. So someone stole it, put it in an envelope, and handed it to Maria? And they did it yesterday.
What the?
So in other words, isn't that strange? That's absurd. This is getting bizarre.
What do you mean? I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Me neither. Would you explain it for us? Goda and Nanjo's failure to understand definitely wasn't because they were stupid. They didn't know. They didn't know how long the Oni key to the chapel had been in Maria's possession. There's no mistake. It was locked up. I unlocked it. There's no doubt. Aunt Rosa kept closing the door, locking it, pulling it to check the lock, and opening it again. Her face was becoming pale again. Until I took the key out of Maria's envelope and opened this door, it was definitely locked. But this key was in an envelope placed in Maria's care. And that happened yesterday before noon.
What did you say? But that doesn't make any sense.
You're right. Maria received a one-of-a-kind key from a woman calling herself a witch midday yesterday. In other words, from midday yesterday until this morning, when Rosa unlocked the door, this chapel was a closed room. Was Rosa not in the chapel last night? I think Rosa's the culprit. How'd they get those 6 people in there, and then how did they kill them? Unless they weren't in the chapel, and I'm just remembering wrong? I don't know. The deaths of 6 people had shaken us badly. When we learned about that weird magic circle and the history of the chapel, we felt as though we'd figured at least part of this puzzle out. But that was all absolutely trivial. From midday yesterday until this morning, this chapel was a closed room. But our parents were with us until last night. How'd the culprit get into this building? And how did they lock it up again? I feel like this might be a good place to stop, because that's a transition. So, haha, that's going to be it for this episode. We'll see what Batware is doing yelling at Beatrice next episode, okay? I'm going to go eat dinner, okay? How many times can I say okay in my outro, okay? So that's going to be it for this episode. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!